want your session taped, we could do that. Sean is highly technical. Good morning, my name is Art Alexander, and I want to bring to you this morning a couple of ideas that I have been working on and had learned from one of my mentors, who is John Maxwell. I heard recently that a very eccentric, wealthy Texan had a party. And at this party, what he had done prior to everybody arriving, he had put alligators and snakes and sharks and all kinds of people in this big, big pool. So there's a pool, hundreds of people. He gets up and says, if anybody will swim across this pool with the sharks and the alligators, and I'll give him $10 million. All of a sudden, bang, splash, the guy comes out at the end of their end, soaked in wet. The people put their hands, they're cheering. Let's try. Let's just give the guy a round of applause and cheer. Let me hear you cheer for the guy. Yeah. He comes out of the pool, dazed, and the eccentric millionaire comes up and says, you're going to get this money, but tell me, what else do you want? He says, I just want the name of the guy who pushed me into the pool. Have you ever been pushed to do something you didn't really want to do? Have you ever been pushed by a salesperson, a boss, a spouse, a loved one, your kids? Who has pushed you to do something? In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 5 levels of leadership. And this comes from John's book, John Maxwell's book. And I want to encourage you to push yourself. It's always better to push yourself, to have it come from the inside out rather than have someone kind of come down on you. The first level of leadership, if you will, and you can write this down in your notes. First level is positional. So, you're the president, you're the sales manager, you're the team leader. It's positional. You have the power because you have the rights, you have the title. And sometimes people think, if I could just get the title, if I could just have that name above my door or on my desk, then I've arrived. No, you haven't arrived. You're just starting on a journey. So positional leadership really is about titles. And we have titles, and sometimes we give ourselves titles. Sometimes it could be president, it could be whatever the title might be. We have a fellow in our chamber who his title is CEO, Chief Euphoric Officer. So that's his title that he gave himself, and which is kind of cool. It sets him apart. Sometimes if you go to an office and you see the receptionist, and sometimes just the receptionist, but really the receptionist is the person who is the director of first impressions, because that's the person you first meet. Director of first impressions. So have a title, it's good, but that's just the beginning of your leadership level. The second level is permission level. That's really the relationship level. So, you know, Scott knows me, and he says, Art, you're the greatest, and he gives me permission to help lead him as part of the team. Permission. That's a good place to be when someone gives you that authority, if you will, because it's permission. They're kind of laying themselves open. Lead me. And we have those people in our lives, whether you're leading a team at work, whether you're the president or CEO, or you're working with a group of young people, whether it's at a church group or a high school, you're leading people, right? But they give you the permission, lead me, take me along. One time, the first time I ever spoke to a big crowd, my friend, Bob Black, he says, Art, I want you to go out there and warm the crowd up, talk to them. I'm thinking, geez, there's like 600 people out there. It's a big stage. The lights are shining on me. So he kind of says, go on out there. And I love Bob. I respect him. He's a great leader. He says, you could do it. He encouraged me to get out there. So I'm standing there on a huge stage. The spotlights are shining on me, and it was like a deer in headlights. And all of a sudden, I look over and I see Bob going. But that thumbs up, that gave me the courage to speak out. And that's what I did. So the second level is permission. You give permission to somebody to help lead you. And these 5 levels are going to be could be a whole session, a whole seminar, could be a morning. I could help walk that through with you. The third level is productive. So you follow somebody because Johnny or Sally or Sue, they're productive. Look at their numbers. Look at their